going on, guys, and welcome back to Dragon Slayer Games. And today we're going to be talking about a farming guide for DSA. Now, some people may be playing this free to play, some people might be, wailing it out there, but anyways, this could help you guys understand what teams to farm, because there are a bunch of teams in this game, but not every team or every player in this game is very useful. So that's why I'm here today, going to help you guys decide which teams to go for. And from my perspective, I'm not a big whale or anything like that. I just do maybe the VIP passes. I used to do like the passports, but I stopped doing the passports like last month or so. So I really cut back on it. And now I just do the VIP pass for Towers of Endurance, because I just finished Tower of Endurance. So that's another thing I recommend you guys doing. If you have finished Towers of Endurance, it's a good way to get some quick coin and quick spell coin, as well as if you guys do get VIP. It's one recommendation I do have for you guys. But anyways, let's get into this and see what we have in store. So I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am playing DSA, and if you've been playing since at least July, you know there's been a lot of non-stop character drops, and now there's nothing wrong with new content, but of course with new characters that usually means there's new teams, and that means farming most likely will change, and for sure it has. Now let's take a step back a bit, and if you're around in May or June, the team everyone was farming was Kingdom and Frozen. Then came the tech team, which for a quick while took the meta. Then came the Oceanics, and well, everyone knows what happened when they came around. Then most recently we got the Big Hero 6 team, and they are quickly taking the meta where Kristoff has been put to the wayside, and so is Gizmo. As a Frozen fan, it's good to see that Elsa is still there, but there are strong offensive characters that have been replaced with Elsa, or they have made Elsa a good combo with another character. With all these factions growing and all these new characters, people are fairly confused on what to focus on. That's why I'm making this video, to try and help you guys narrow that decision. Now, a quick tip, I do recommend that you really stay on course and don't get sidetracked when farming, as it can really make you inefficient in this game, which can carry over to how good your teams are overall, especially in Club Conquest. So with that said, let's get into the first team. So the first team or faction I would go for is still Kingdom. Now I know what you're wondering, Dragon, there are much better teams such as Big Hero 6 and Frozen teams. Why are you saying going for Kingdom? Depending on who you ask, that is most likely true. And hear me out. Kingdom is a very versatile team, and they will carry you through Tower 3 and 5 to get those much sought after spells, which is why I highly recommend you guys get this team done first, because once you get through Tower, you have spells, and then it really helps you get those other characters. So first things first, Kingdom can be farmed quickly and simultaneously compared to other teams. Second, you can utilize club coins and tournament coins, elite battles, and club grand campaign, unlike other factions where it's mainly grand campaign and elite battles. Lastly, with Anna being a Kingdom character, you'll be farming efficiently, getting a Frozen character while at the same time farming a Kingdom character. Now let's get into these 5 characters I would go for in the Kingdom realm. Starting off with Aladdin, you get him right off the bat. He's one of the beginner characters, and Aladdin's going to carry you for a while. In all honesty, I still use Aladdin to this day. He can still do some major damage, and his speed works well with the Shan Yu lead. And just for perspective, I am level 60 now. I have my Aladdin at gear 6, gonna try and get into gear 7 soon, and he still does some pretty good damage. His slow is still great, so he's still a very effective character even in the late game. Now there are 2 ways to farm Aladdin. The first one being through Grand Campaign, and the second through Elite Battles. I recommend focusing Grand Campaign farm on him because his Elite Battles is pretty cheap at 12 energy, and I believe the same thing for his Grand Campaign coin. He's only 12. If you know the difference, Elite Battles are yellow energy and Grand Campaign is purple energy, just for those who are new to the game and may not know what that is. And also, I guess another tip I should give you guys is that when you are farming, for instance, Aladdin or any of the other characters that require purple or yellow energy, I recommend, even if you're doing free to play, you still accumulate gems over time. I highly recommend you guys focusing them on the refresh energies. For yellow energy, it's 50 gems for 120, and for purple energy, it's 100 gems for 120 energy. So it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. And honestly, sometimes with Grand Campaign, I've lucked out where I've spent 100 gems and I've gotten 6 tokens. So do the math there. If you were to just spend them directly on the gems, it wouldn't be as good in my opinion. But it's always a toss-up and it's kind of a gamble, so it's not always a guarantee. Sometimes I have even gotten just 1 token from spending 100 gems, so it evens out in the long run. So back on track here with this kingdom team. The second character I would farm is Shan Yu. Now you don't get him right off the bat, but he is one of the few characters that can be farmed through tournament coins and elite battles. He's a great lead. He has a 12% speed boost as a leader, and he's just does some major damage as an offensive character and a leader. He's great in the kingdom realm, and trust me guys, there is no mistake with Shan Yu. You can erase characters throughout the middle game, and even late game, he may not be able to erase characters exactly, but once you get him leveled up high enough, get him to tier 6 and up, he's still gonna do some major damage and a great lead speed wise for the kingdom realm, because you know what, in this game speed is king. Now the second character I recommend to farm is Ana. Now Ana can be farmed through tournament coins and elite battles just like Shan Yu. I will talk more about her because later when I talk about another team, because she has more benefits to that team, and if you can figure out what that team is, you already know what it is. Depending on where you are in the game though, I would recommend getting Shan Yu to 5 stars and then getting Ana to 5 stars using tournament coins. Now you can farm these guys at the same time because elite battles are a little tricky. Sometimes you need to be a little bit higher level to get them. So just depending on where you are in the game, I recommend you guys trying to alternate between the two of them, but mainly focusing first on Shan Yu for his lead, getting him to maybe 5 stars, and then getting Ana to 5 stars, because if you're trying to farm Elsa, you need Ana at 5 stars. So this is probably the fastest way, at least you have prepared her for that time. So that's what I recommend. And then once you obviously complete Shan Yu to 7 stars, complete Ana at 7 stars through a combo of elite battles and tournament coin. Now onto the next character, Mickey. Now Mickey is a little assist magician there. Like, he has some really good assisting with pretty much all the characters he's with. I always count on him to assist at some point, and if you can upgrade his abilities, he even has a higher percentage of assisting. Now Mickey can be farmed through club coins and Grand Campaign, but I recommend you finishing off Aladdin with Grand Campaign, so mainly focusing with Mickey on those club coins. So if you aren't part of a club, definitely join one. It doesn't have to be the most active club. For instance, Mickey only needs 3750 club coins, so I recommend just getting into a club that can get you about 4,000 coin a day. Now if you're in a very active club, for instance my club, we do about 12,850 club coins a day, so we get about, what is that, like almost 100,000 in a week. So I do get a lot of that, and it helps me, one, with gear, but also farming these characters. So I highly recommend, if you're not part of a club yet, do so. Our collective is, I'll put our Discord down in the link. We are Guardians of the Galaxy, and we have 6 clubs varying from different seriousness levels. And lastly is Jasmine. Now Jasmine is a little bit tricky of a grind because the only way to get her is through elite battles. Her and Raja though are a great duo, and they really make them a 6 character team when you have a full kingdom team. And she has some great synergy with Aladdin, always assisting with his big attacks, so definitely give it a shot. Get Jasmine as well, though she is a slower grind with only elite battles. I highly recommend that. Now for another passive kingdom farm. Let's say for instance you finished your elite battles with Ana and Shan Yu, and all you have is Jasmine left, and you've also finished Aladdin. I definitely recommend Genie, because in all honesty, in Club Conquest you're going to be putting Ana with the Frozen team, so you're gonna need that 5th spot filled up, and Genie is definitely a great option there. He has some great synergy with Aladdin, and him, Mickey, man, they are just an assist duo. They're so good with helping and assisting, and if you put Peach Shadow on Genie, the damage can go up and up and up, and he's just really good. If you haven't seen Cozy's stream one time, he had like 6, I think, Peach Shadow Genies, and they just saved his butt. They like destroyed Gizmo and like his other characters, so it's pretty crazy. Definitely don't miss out on Genie, but that's only after you have finished farming the rest of the characters and you have that energy, if you're doing free to play, to spend it on Genie. So just in closing with this kingdom team, like I said, they're gonna help you guys in tower. They're good Club Conquest team. They're very versatile, and they're gonna help you guys in many ways. So they're a good staple team. When I started the game in May, they were team to go for. And like I said, slowly they're still up there. I still run into a lot of these characters, don't get me wrong. Mainly Shan Yu and Mickey and Aladdin. So don't knock them down, guys. They're still good up there, and even Genie's starting to crack up there to people I've been playing against. So on to team number 2. So team number 2 will be Big Hero 6. Now I was really split doing this because I do love my Frozen team. I love my Elsa. But I will admit Big Hero 6 as a team is much more effective, which is why I put Big Hero 6 over Frozen. And I'll be making another video comparing the two teams, Big Hero 6 and Frozen, in the coming weeks, so don't worry about that. But now let's get into Big Hero 6. Another great part about Big Hero 6 is that these players are great together, but they are also very versatile and can be placed individually as plug-and-play characters, especially Hero, Honey Lemon, and Baymax. In addition, they will help carry you through Towers 2, 4, and 5, and they will also be useful in Rune Rumble to the highest stage. So if you don't know what Rune Rumble is obviously the event with Buzz Lightyear where you get to get runes. So you need downtown characters, and since Big Hero 6 falls under tech team and downtown heroes, they're great and they're going to help you get through there. In addition, they can be used as a tech team when Gizmo's back. So I'm thinking at the time of this recording, which is late September, I'm guessing maybe October, but October seems to be taken over by villains. Probably November of 2020 is when they're going to be coming back. So you're going to be prepared for them if you start farming now. Now this team is much more of a grind compared to the other teams, as they can only be farmed through grand campaign and elite battles. With that in mind, let's get into these characters. So first, let's focus on Hero. Hero can be placed in so many teams as a good support character that it's just insane, and with his little nerf that they did, it didn't really do much, and I still highly recommend you guys use him in any team, and especially with his synergy with his tech team, that speed boost. I mean, it feels like that team's going always next, so I highly recommend them. So if you're grinding all of the Big Hero 6 characters, I would mainly focus on utilizing Grand Campaign on Hero. I think it'd be most effective for him. Now the next character from Big Hero 6 I would farm is Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon is a great support character with Hero, and they are such a great support duo. She gives decent damage, but is also great for giving the stun and slow. And Honey Lemon can be farmed only through elite battles, so it will be a longer grind. So I highly recommend you be farming Hero and Honey Lemon at the same time. You can decide if you want to do elite battles on Hero as well as Honey Lemon, but like I said, I recommend you guys focusing on Hero using Grand Campaign. And this can go hand in hand with our next character. Now it is time for Gogo. Gogo is a great damage dealer, and I swear it's always feeling like she's going to go next because she's naturally the fastest character in the game, but also with Hero's lead, she goes even faster. And to top it off, she's a great offensive character, so once you get into the high star and gear level, her damage is a force to be reckoned with. Now Gogo can only be farmed with Grand Campaign energy, so it will take her a while to get to the 7 stars. I would recommend that you focus on Hero first, get to 7 stars, then use your Grand Campaign energy and focus solely on Gogo. Ooh, it's getting spicy because it is time for Wasabi. Wasabi is a damage dealer. I've had characters wiped out because of Wasabi, and with Gogo, they're a great damage duo. He may not be as fast as Gogo, but his damage definitely compensates for it. Now, Wasabi can only be farmed with elite battles, so it will be a grind to get him. I recommend if you're going to be grinding Hero first, you can, using Grand Campaign, you can grind using Wasabi and Honey Lemon with elite battles, so to be very focused using those two. Like I said, it depends on what you want, what you're doing. If you're doing this at least with some gems, not completely free to play, but of course you do eventually get gems over time, so you can use those gems effectively, going for elite battle energy or the yellow energy to really get these guys going. Lastly, it is Fred, who is the last character I recommend to farm. Unfortunately, he's going to be the drop character once you get Baymax, but you do need him to get Baymax. Fred may not be get the love he deserves, but that's okay. He is a decent placeholder and will be a decent take with your Big Hero 6 team. You can easily replace him with a better tank such as Maui, Gantu, or Kristoff, but to keep the synergy together, it doesn't hurt. Fred is also the cheapest elite battles Big Hero 6 character to farm, so while he is still going to take some time to farm, At least he's a little bit more affordable. So like I said, I recommend the order of this. You can farm Hero and Honey Lemon and actually Wasabi all at the same time. And then once you finish Grand Campaign with Hero, I recommend going to Go-Go. And then lastly, of course, Fred. Fred can be in there. You can even farm him all at the same. You can farm Honey Lemon, Wasabi, and Fred all at the same time if you show desire and you can afford it through there. Now, that was a lot of info for Big Hero 6, but it's not over. We're on to our third team, the Frozen team. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Why didn't I put Oceanics? In my opinion, from the Oceanics point of view, they're not exactly free to play friendly. You only have Gantu and Bubbles. Of course, there are other Oceanics out there, but the core of the Oceanics team are only those two characters. So until the Maui and Moana event comes back, which is actually right now, there's really no use to get those other characters. So back to Frozen, which is still used literally by everyone, and they're still feared in Club Conquest. So do not hesitate on getting this team. They're still good, even if you don't have Elsa. Anna. I already talked a lot about Anna already, and possibly at this point you already have her at 7 stars, which is awesome. If not, I recommend just finishing off with your tournament coins and redirect her elite battles to another character. She is a great plug and play character, especially in a support role where she will deal the offense down, possible slow, and she's going to be a great leader, giving the health and support that her team needs in healing and assist initiating. And of course, once you get Elsa, the Elsa protection, which truly makes her a queen. Now every queen needs a king, and that, my friends, is Kristoff. Once the most sought after tank, Kristoff has unfortunately fallen off the teams a bit, but of course, with this Frozen team, he is a tank that keeps on saving. He has so much health, and on top of that, with a defense stone or health stone, he is a super tank. To be honest, I still use him to this day in tournament because he does a great job. He has great synergy with Sven, and honestly is the only reason why Sven is a usable character. There are two ways to farm Kristoff, and that being through elite battles and club coins. Now with this is pretty simple, just focus on the club coins. You're going to get him. It's going to be a little bit of slow grind, but at least now depending on how good your club is and how many coins you get a day, you can get upwards of 9 coins a day of Kristoff, just depending on how good your team is. Now every king needs their sidekick, and that's going to be Sven for Kristoff. Now Sven is not an amazing character by himself, but with this synergy with the Frozen team, he becomes an assisting master, and he does some massive damage. To top that off with his Peach Shadow, you got yourself a Svenpede. I've seen Svenpedes that can do 20,000 damage, so if not more. He can basically erase characters. It's also a great way to soften up enemy teams before also show yourself, so it's a great way to have Sven as well. Now there's only way to get Sven, and that's through Grand Campaign, so I recommend you focus all your campaign energy on Sven. And at this point, you already got your Big Hero 6 team, and you finish Go-Go, but you're still farming, for instance, Fred or those other characters. Go ahead and farm Sven. He's going to be great for you guys. And I will utilize, like I said, the Grand Campaign energy with the 100 gem refresh if you can. Definitely do it to maximize your Sven daily tokens. And lastly, Olaf. Olaf, like Fred, is quickly forgotten and sometimes dropped for a better support character like Hero or now Honey Lemon. It doesn't mean he is useless, but Olaf's specials grant Charm, which helps stop a character from having a turn, and giving Tactics to Elsa. Tactics are great for maximizing Elsa's show yourself attack. Besides that, there's not too much to Olaf. Now Olaf can only be farmed through Grand Campaign, so once you finish off Sven, I would move on to Olaf. Keep in mind that if you're farming just unlock Elsa, you need all 4 Frozen characters at 5 stars just to unlock Elsa, so keep that in mind. But in terms of anticipating when she's going to be coming back, if you look at the calendar, the earliest I would say is going to be November 2020. That's really the earliest, but I'm thinking more December, if not possibly January, but I think it's a bit out there. So I'm looking at December, earliest November. Alright guys, now it's time to defrost and head over to some nice warm sandy beaches and farm some Oceanic characters. The main characters I'm going to be talking about are Cobra, Bubbles, and Captain Gantu. Now yes, there are other characters and I'm going to bundle them together. Currently, they are not that important, but don't hold me completely accountable to that, because with the news that we got with a possible, very likely Ursula raid event, we could use more Oceanic characters on deck. So don't put your Ariels and your Captain Jacks aside. We may need them, so hang in tight. So the first Oceanic character I would farm would be Gantu. The reason being is that you're going to need him first in order to move around the Stitch Tower event. Gantu is a great tank and is always countering and defending his teammates. Gantu can be farmed through elite battles and grand campaigns, so it might be a good idea to alternate between the grand campaign days. So maybe one day you do Bubbles, the next day you do Gantu, just up to what you want to do. And Bubbles is also the ultimate support character. His assists are amazing, and you put that with Pete's Shadow and you will just see a pile of suitcases on top of your defeated enemy. It is quite the enemy eraser. And now you really can farm Gantu and Bubbles at the same time now, because they can be farmed two ways and they're identical, and just flip-flop between them probably every other day. That's what I recommend. And also, when the Twitch Tower event does come and you have the Twitch Tower coins, you can use those coins to get Gantu and Bubbles tokens. But once you do unlock Stitch, you can unlock Stitch tokens there too. So it's really up to you what you want to do. Now, don't hate on me about these next three characters, as I know some of you love these guys. But for a full free-to-play Oceanics team, you're going to need them until they're replaced by Moana, Maui, and Stitch. And these three characters are Captain Hook, Captain Jack, and Ariel. And they do have some redeeming qualities. Hook can put out the vulnerable effect and do some decent damage with Wendy's gift attack, and he occasionally can do a double attack with his basic, which can come in handy. Jack has a decent AoE attack, and his charm can come in handy. Lastly, Ariel is probably the best out of all three, as her leadership grants some bonus health from the start, and she can heal. Let me tell you, once you get her up there, she can heal. She also has a pretty good special attack that can deal some good damage and also purge character, and her basic attack can also chain, so she can do some pretty good damage with that as well. She isn't a bad character, but she's not that elite character for Oceanics. Now, Jack and Hook have very similar farming abilities through club coins. Jack does cost 4,500 and Hook costs 3,750, so depending on how your club does and how many club coins you get a day, you can possibly get 3 tokens for each. In about a week, that's 21, so you can get them. You can get Jack and Hook at 7 stars in about a month if you really wanted to. And also, depending on how your club does in Club Conquest, you do get a certain amount of club coins, and you also get some character tokens, which in this case right now is currently Jack and Captain Hook and Davy Jones, so you can get some from there too. And on the other hand, Hook, like Ariel, can also be farmed through Grand Campaign and Elite Battles, while Ariel can also be farmed through tournament coins. So if you're done with your Anna and your Shanyu, you can already get started on Ariel and finish her off with tournament coins. So that pretty much wraps it up for Oceanics. It's really going to be the heart of Gantu and Bubbles, but you are going to need some characters to unlock Maui and Moana, so keep that in mind. You're going to need them at 7 stars, 7 gear to really utilize unlocking Maui and Moana. So I recommend, probably out of all of those guys, definitely Captain Jack and Ariel, and it's really up to you if you want to use Davy Jones or Captain Hook. It's just how you play the game. So last but not least, let's get into this. Another shout out to my collective. If you guys are looking for a club, definitely check us out. Discord's in the description. So at this point, you've pretty much farmed all the meta teams and have prepared them for legendary events or regular events to unlock event locked characters. Your club will love you because your multiple strong teams will help them compete well in Club Conquest, and you'll love it yourself because your roster expands and your options of viable characters will expand as well. At this point, it's really up to you who you want to farm after this. This is Incredible is a good option if you want Dash, but at this point, it's really up to you what you want. Scrooge was also another good example of someone you can go for. He used to be considered a bad character, but now with the right team, he's a great damage dealer. But I will be making a separate video of characters to farm in the exchange. This means your club coins and your tournament coins. Which one should I use because I want to be most effective with them? Now, for instance, you may be at different points in the game, and let's say you finish all of Mickey and Aladdin, but you're still farming Jasmine and Genie. Utilize your grand campaign for the next team. You can start doing it on Hero. So basically, I will also make a chart of who you should go for, and it'll be at the end of this video exactly the orders depending on what you're looking for. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys like this video, like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out the Twitch stream, definitely check out the Twitch stream. We are growing there. We are almost at affiliate. We're gonna get there soon, hopefully by the end of the month. Like us on Twitter. Go to our Discord. Now Discord, we are working on it, so it's gonna get better soon. And feel free to DM me anything there and stuff like that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.